Morning everyone. Yeah, I had no idea what's going on. I'll try and find out in a minute. I'm not quite sure how the guard's keeping a straight face. The reason I put the camera on is I was talking with somebody here and then they started doing the splits, which was kind of curious. I'm not sure if it's performance artists or gymnasts or gymnastic performance artists, which I guess would be both, but I will ask in a moment if and when they've finished. Slightly murky morning, change of regiments this morning, it being Friday, and a couple of unusual things are due to happen this morning. I don't know if it'll be in this section of the video or later, but I might need to join this on because there's quite a gap until the dramatic parts happen later on, so I might pause it and sort of resume it. So this video might be a little bit sort of stop-start in that respect, but I'm still waiting to see if they do anything first. 1 second, let me talk to them. Because, what are you doing, like gymnastics or what is it?
We are dancers.
Ah, where are you from?
I'm from Slovakia, from Switzerland, but once we did like a choreography which was like a UK style. So.
Ah, okay. Because I'm like amazed that the guard is keeping his composure. He's probably looking at us, so he's probably like...
Can you maybe do a picture of both of us?
Hey, I'm recording it for YouTube. I record here a lot and for TikTok. I'll show you the account later, but yeah, I record for YouTube and TikTok. So if you guys are happy, yeah, I'll put it on there later on. A big London account.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, so what are you doing? Like splits or doing this thing with your arms? Double jointed or?
I can do the things with the arms.
It means double jointed if you can do that thing with the arms.
Sorry?
Does it mean you're double jointed if you can do that thing with your arms?
I really cannot get your accent, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Does it mean that you're double jointed? Like you have, how to say, if you put your arms in that position, it means that you have...
I have to click my elbow to the back.
Oh wow, so it works.
Yes.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, well now it's better. I had to practice a lot to get enough flexibility for
Okay,
that.
no, that's an amazing thing to see. I mean, I never saw that before. Wow. Okay, so having to click the elbows back, folks. Wow, extraordinary. So one of the ladies is Slovakian and the other one is Swiss. They're still deciding if they're going to continue with their routine. Might be a bit shy now. We will see. If not, I'll head inside. It's an interesting thing though, in fact, to see, but I'm wondering why they chose here of all of the locations in central London. Bear in mind there's Buckinghampalace nearby, Big Ben, Trafalgar Square, Nelson's Column, the Palace of Westminster, County Hall, the London Eye. In other words, pretty much everywhere you would hope and expect to find to take interesting pictures and videos. What will you do with this when you finish? What do you do with the footage? Is it for like your work or?
We are posting it on Instagram.
Okay.
Because we are in a dance company, so we try to find a job, so we try to take pictures and videos everywhere possible.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's a shame it's raining and wet, but this is a good spot. This place is very popular now in central
really
London.
Cool.
Are you two finished or are you doing more?
We would like to take a picture together, but we try to find the person which
Wait,
will do it.
let me pause my video and I'll do it for you. 1 second. Okay, so here come the ladies, one either side. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Hey, check and see if you're happy with it. Wait, not that one, this one. Yeah, I made sure that both the arms are in. Yeah, good?
Thank you so much.
Good luck, girls, yeah? Okay, so happy dancers there from Slovakia and Switzerland. Happy to take a picture of them. Beautiful, friendly girls. Let's have a look at what's happening this end. Oh, look, more happy tourists. What more could one want? It was definitely a first. Seen some unusual things here. Seen actually some kids doing sort of ballet gymnastics and so on, but never actually seen professional dancers in full costume doing, that pretty much. Okay, so we've got a gatesman. Very sort of grey this morning, unfortunately. Sort of traditional British grey. Anyone wondering what a typical British day is, this is it. Just look at it, 100%. This is what it's supposed to be. We had that super elongated summer, glorious weather. We're getting the blues leaving now, partly the reason why I secretly moved in. Notice the horse at the front, everybody. That grey is here for a very special reason. You can see on the grey is a trumpeter. Why have we got a trumpeter? Well, for the same reason we had a trumpeter yesterday. Because His Majesty the King is in residence at Buckingham Palace. So we get that very, and it is rare. Okay, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen this year. That very rare example of one of the HCAV greys coming out with the Blues and Royals trooper. See the back. The reason he's going out, first of all, the rest of the troop will follow shortly, is that he will take a spot on the parade ground, and after that the rest of the troop will come out and they will follow, they will line up. This morning, sorry, it's a tourist interrupting me there. I don't know what on earth she's even saying, can't understand her. This morning there will be a regimental handover. We will see the Royal Standard leaving Horseguards in just a few moments. There's a very good chance the tourists who are in the way at the moment are going to get in trouble. Let's have a look and see. Here they come, look at this. Complete with the Royal Standard. Squadron of Blues and Royals. Who are going to have to shout at these silly tourists if they don't get themselves out of the way. Magnificent, look at this. Absolutely extraordinary sight. Royal Standard there, look. First time I've actually ever had the pleasure of recording this uninterrupted, unobscured in 4K. We got very lucky with that, folks. I'd completely forgotten that yesterday the 4 o'clock inspection was a long guard. That being the case, obviously there was a reception at Buckingham Palace yesterday evening for His Majesty and the Queen and other senior royals. That's why we had a long guard at the 4 o'clock yesterday, which I filmed. It's on the channel if any of you didn't see it. And that's also why the Royal Standard was here overnight, meaning it will return this morning to the palace. Police officer there directing everybody to his right. In other words, so the passageway goes through the tunnel through to the back. Now, I'm 99.9% certain that this morning, because of the nature of the handover, the gates are not getting closed. Also, I'm not seeing anywhere near enough officers to make a gate closure likely. So I'm going to have a wander through. I will double check so I don't get stuck out the back. Fear of all fears. But it would be something of a shame to miss this unique handover of the Royal Standard. Plus the lights are always super out here as well. Okay, so here we are at the parade ground at the back. So the Royal Standard, which was very briefly here, has now been taken over to the palace. just in distance, probably just about make out going around the corner, just caught the horse over there. That grey just leaving. About to turn at the top of Horseguards Road, will turn left onto the southern end of the Mall. If I can super zoom in, we might catch it, I'm not entirely sure. Come on, horsey, where are you hiding? He should turn left at the top. Can't think of any reason why on earth he would turn right and go toward Trafalgar Square. Very, 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 very murky here this morning. There we are. That's the Royal Standard heading along the Mall. Just about, if I super zoom in, just about see the horse there, look. He's just stopped, but he will head along the Mall and go past Buckingham Palace with the Royal Standard. Meanwhile, the rest of the Blues are lined up out the back here, waiting for the Lifeguards to arrive. Happy to have a little bit of a wander closer. We're not going to get stuck here, but more importantly, because of the weather, it's relatively sparsely populated out the back here this morning. Plus I've got a bit of a gravel crunchy fetish. So here we are. We'll do a quick walk around. 7 Blues here. And they just about fit into the camera. Bear in mind I'm fully zoomed out. If I go back a teeny weeny bit. There we are, look at that. What a sight, eh, guys, for a Friday morning here in central London. Yes, it's a bit murky, it's a bit grey, it's a bit wet, it's a bit overcast, but that's a sight and a half. Tell me another place, except possibly the Royal Guard change at the Palace in Stockholm, where we could see a sight akin to this. Isn't that magnificent, folks? Look, really, really clear views this morning, simply because of the fact that luckily there is not an army of tourists. There will be by the time the actual changeover begins. There always is. But wow. Wowzers, eh? How about that? Must we get a really, 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 really clear view over that Palladian masterpiece that is Horseguards. Notice at the top there is the bell tower, folks. That glorious, absolutely spectacular bell tower that chimes every 15 minutes. And that is how our gatesman, etc., knows that it's time to leave his post in the arches and head first into the yard, the tilt yard. It's a central area inside the gates at Horseguards, and then out to the front through those central gates onto the public highway to check on his colleagues, the boxmen, who are on horseback. There we are. I bet they are very much relieved that the weather's like this, actually. Yes, it's a bit grey, but at the same time, after the exceedingly hot weather we've had recently. Those long mornings sitting outside here waiting for 20, 30, 40 minutes in 25, 30 degree heat. In all that kit, full ceremonial #1 uniform. There we are, got a brief spot. Quickly zoom in so you can see them all from the front, everyone. There are our magnificent Blues and Royals on those 7 utterly spectacular household cavalry, Irish, draft, blacks. What a sight. Building in the background, for anyone that is wondering, is the old naval building. I say old because it's not used by the Navy anymore. It's now the Department for Business and International Development, or some odd corporate sounding government department. Okay, let's get back to the front and wait for the Lifeguard arrival. I don't want to risk getting stuck out here. They're not going to close the front gates. The danger is going to be that it will jam up so much out here there won't be enough space to get back through. It's already getting pretty busy, look. More importantly, I want to catch the dismount fully when the Lifeguards arrive. That's the goal. Sorry folks, got a few sillies waving at the camera. It is what it is, always happens here. What a surprise. And hey, even bigger surprise, they're all Dutch. Lots of Dutchies. Okay, so we're back in the yard. There might be another pause. I'm going to see... Actually, let's have a quick look on the other phone. Oh, actually the girls are coming back through again. I guess they're done. All done? Have a good day, girls, yeah? Bye-bye. Oh, they're getting in trouble now. Officers like us need to go into this way, into the tunnel. Typical. Okay, all right, let's have a quick look on the other phone. 10:52. Now, strictly speaking, the changeover should happen at 11 on the dot. However, these things are not set in stone. Now, I'm noticing we've still got a few more horses inside because only half of the blues have gone out to the back. Why? Because the changeover isn't complete yet. We've still got Blues and Royals as Kingsguard here. You can see the guard in the arch. Blues and Royals as Boxman at the front. So it's still quite a bit of work to do, to be honest. And it's always a little bit more hectic when it is a long guard the evening before. Why? Because when there is a long guard, there are 2 officers here, plus the trumpeter. Hence there being a slightly larger troop than normal. So we had 7 out the back. I think we're going to have another, I can't remember actually whether it's 6 or 7 more, including the 2 boxmen. We will see. I'll try and keep an eye on that, folks. I'll head back to the front for a moment, but I'll try and keep an eye on what's going to happen when the lifeguards arrive and the rest of the blues come out. Those blues will not leave until the first lifeguards arrive, if that kind of makes sense. So that won't be happening imminently, but it will be happening in the next 10 minutes, give or take. Boom. Wow, you're up crazy early. Good, I know. Special morning this morning. There's a long guard. When the lifeguards arrive, I think they're bringing the Royal Standard. I think, but the blues just left with it, so we'll see. Yeah, maybe. So fingers crossed. Okay, just talking to somebody else that often films here, a friend of mine. Okay, so let's focus on the tourists having fun with the King's horse, because these blues haven't got long until they're gone, and they will not be back actually for a good number of days. Oh. Boyfriend's telling her to move this way and that way and up and down and everything else. Okay. Just as we thought it was going to be sort of quietish, a massive tour group is about to descend from my right and invade the picture. Here we go. Well, they're actually being very kind of sort of leaning, some of them, under the camera to avoid getting in the frame. Isn't that thoughtful? Kind and lovely. I'm guessing it's okay. I'm guessing if they're this kind of lovely, they're going to be French, German, or Dutch. Yep, that's my guess. Big group, look. Here they are. Here's the first lucky customer.
Is that okay if I take a picture?
Of course. Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
It's you're very kind. It's okay. Oh, some tourists are so lovely. She asked me if it's okay to take a picture. I'm like, sweetheart, of course it is. Look at this. Fantastic. How's about that? I am super glad that we caught that. I was not expecting to. The trumpeter's leaving, and so, in a moment, is the senior officer on duty here. Here he comes, on his trusty steed. Absolutely spectacular. Look at this, magnificent. That, I think, was the captain. Yeah, it was. Morning, right? Yeah, that was the captain, everybody. He was here yesterday. That was the captain that did the 4 o'clock inspection here at Horseguards yesterday. Goodness me, we got super lucky with that. Just caught it in time. I hope I didn't destroy the other woman's lovely picture running back into the yard. He caught me unawares then. I wasn't actually aware that he came back over, played the trumpet again. The captain comes out and then leaves with the trumpeter. So the trumpeter is an escort for the captain back over past Buckingham Palace toward Hyde Park Barracks. Makes perfect sense. And we're back at the front. Wow, all action this morning, guys. You really can't sort of catch all of it. I kind of think sometimes I know what I'm doing and what happens here, but then, that being a classic example, you all saw it, I get somewhat caught out by it. But what a thing to see, eh? At least we got the the trumpeter on that glorious grey right in front of the camera. Here, keep my eyes firmly peeled. Most importantly of all, on that clock, 2 minutes to 11. So the changeover is happening shortly, very shortly. Yeah, that would also explain, in fact, the massively increased police presence. We went from 2 officers 5 minutes ago to, as I can count it, 6. I can see 6, which means there's probably 8. 1 in the yard, 2 at the front, 3 at the end of the tunnel. That's a lot of police. But it's a regimental handover, so it means we've got a lot of traffic. We're going to have, in fact, I see them arriving. We're going to have traffic constantly through the yard over the course of the next 10 minutes, give or take. I see them arriving. It's the police ARV, armed response vehicle, that is at the front. That's the first vehicle. Hopefully I can see the lifeguards form up, and if that isn't possible, I will dash back in and see what else I can see. Probably is super soggy and wet this morning. Absolutely soaking at the back here. Horrible. Really is horrid. Anyway, we've got a clear spot here, folks, so I'm going to enjoy it while I can. Lifeguards arriving as a long guard. This is a very, very rare thing to see, especially completely unobscured. Look at this, the whole entire troop, complete with 2 officers. Oh, one of the horses is off. One of the horses is not having it at all. Always one. How glorious is that? Look at this, they're almost riding into the camera. Senior officer on the right. Magnificent. Isn't that glorious? We're just going to form up. I will get into the yard in a minute, guys, so we don't miss a moment of this. This is very unusual. Look at those 2 greys. Horse is really kicking off, not having it this morning. Often happens when there are this many. It's a very large troop we've got here. I'm having trouble counting them all. It looks like 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 15, possibly 16. That horse in the background still not having it. Doesn't want to settle down at all. That's a very large number of lifeguards. Biggest squadron we've seen here, in fact, in a month. I'm not going to try and count them because I'll lose focus on the camera, but that's a lot. 15. I just quickly visually count. We've got 15 including the 2 greys. On the left, it'll be the captain and the corporal of horse. I'm going to use this opportunity to dash back through the tunnel because they'll come through in just a moment. So I'm going to quickly cross over to the other side and go back into the yard because they're about to come into the yard any moment. Okay, that's it. That's my last movement of the morning, folks. They will form up in a second and come through this way and back into the yard. At the moment, everyone rushing out the back to try and film it doesn't know if this is the best spot. We'll see in a minute. We should get a full dismount as well as the ride through. I say should. These things are never set in stone, but in theory, being in this spot, we should, yeah. That's that trumpet solo being blown again over on the lifeguard side this time. Okay, old guards, those swords. See that sign of the officers preparing to move out of the way, and at that point we're going to know they're riding through. Actually, I've just got an idea. I'm going to ask if the other corner is possible. I think I might even have a better idea of a spot. One moment. I'm not sure it is, but I'll ask. Just to be doubly certain. That corner closed this morning, or can I?
See how it goes now.
closed, yeah? To be over there, is it closed or? You sure, yeah? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I never know. I don't want to get shouted at.
No, unless I'm told otherwise.
Okay, thank you. Okay, right, we've got a super spot, guys, like a really super spot. Extra privileges. I can't see when the officers will move out the way, but it doesn't matter. Why? Because we'll hear the horses entering the tunnel as they ride through. When they do ride through, this being the key thing, they will come out of the tunnel here and form up right in front of us. How's about that? Yep, they'll form up right in front of us. And that is imminent. It might take a few extra moments because of the fact we've got that trumpet solo for the long guard. But now that's done, both troops are lined up. Any moment they should enter the tunnel. Hear the clippy cloppy noises. Watch the passage of people. So they hear the clippy cloppy, and then I'll turn firmly toward the tunnel. Lovely timing if it works out, but they're coming this way and doing a left at the end. Keep my fingers crossed. It's a funny thing, all of the tourists that are coming through here now and going into the tunnel have no idea of the spectacle that awaits them at the other end. At the moment we've got a full squadron of 15 lifeguards. Here they come. And those blues, half of the blues. They're entering the tunnel now, everybody. Here they come. Clippy cloppy sounds. And we'll get them right here in super light entering the yard. For the first time ever actually on this spot. Look at this. Magnificent. Spectacular. Goodness me. Oh. Someone I know well there on the second horse. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 2 greys wait for it. Look at that look at that grey. Goodness me. Magnificent. And the trooper. HCAV trooper there. Wow, we got that super cleanly, didn't we, this morning? The grey at the back, amazing. 99% certain there's a captain at the rear. I'll confirm later. If not, it would have been a lieutenant. I'm pretty sure. That said, these things are never guaranteed. Corporal of force? Nah. So my money's pretty much on it being a lieutenant, but in all probability, a captain. As I mentioned, there are 2 officers that accompany the trumpeter. One is typically the senior officer, the captain, and one is typically an NCO, non-commissioned officer, meaning corporal of horse or lance corporal of horse. How's about that then, folks? Wow. Okay, so that's that part out of the way, and for the moment, I say for the moment, nothing more of super interest is going to happen. Not to say it's over and done with, it's not, but what happens next is the relief. Notice over here, he's gone. Why is he gone? Well, because he needs to saddle up. He'll be riding out this morning. On the other side, we do still have the chitsman. He's there. Why is he still there if the gatesman's gone? Well, they need to have a presence on foot. Okay, so the chitsman, Blues and Royals chitsman, there he is. And he's off already. Knows we're talking about him. He is a physical presence here because Blues and Royals are, for at least probably the next 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a bit longer, depends on how long it takes them all to swap over, are still the King's Guard. So that for the moment will not change. Blues and Royals as the King's Guard. So the second video of today will be the actual changeover. But I'm glad we caught that this morning because that's the first time ever that I've been that close to the 2 greys coming over. And it's a very rare thing indeed to have a long guard ride over, especially it being the lifeguards in their scarlet tunics of a morning. See it many times in the afternoon after that 4 o'clock inspection, but first. So guys, I will be back as usual in the next video.